It's amazing when I sit around and listen to Sly and the Family Stone's greatest hits, because I've had the albums for years, but just listen to the hits alone, the evolution of the timing and the rhythm of it. And I've talked about Sly and the Family Stone quite a bit. Sly Stone doesn't get his due. I think they're the most important American band. I think I've said that before because they broke down cultural and racial barriers, imagery, and everything. Growing up as a kid back in the day, you saw Prince and the Revolution with Prince's hybrid of ethnicity and male and females in his band. Well, Sly's Family Stone had predated it by 2 decades, and the musicality of everything. But for whatever reason, Sly Stone never got that due. Somehow it's been erased. But when you listen to the music, you can hear a lot of what inspired a lot of people. All the funk bands of the 70s all the way till you get to what Prince was doing, what Rick James was doing, what parts of what Michael Jackson was doing, incorporating. You can see where it came from. You can hear that harmony, that styling, one of a kind. The technical aspect. You can definitely hear Ray Charles influence on Cy Stone's organ playing and the preachness and the gospel aspect. But just thinking about the greatest hits, when you hear songs like Stan, how they still just hit you. They talk to the core. Everyday people talk to the core. Speaking about what's going on in reflection, life, and songs like that. Romantic songs like Hot Fun in the Summertime, which is one of my favorite slow jams. It's like something about hearing that song in the late spring, in the summer, the vocals, the tone, the nuances, it just hits you, you know. Want to take you higher, which has such a call and response, you know. Um, the groove of it, the instrumentation of it just has such an organic feel to it. Everyday people, different strokes, different folks. Coining phrases and terms which would become trademarks, which would become landscapes, which would become common phrase terms. That's how far ahead of the curve he was. Never got his due for that because he came in an era where they didn't do that unless, of course, the thing that happened to him is that a lot of his peers, some of them went on to um, different things. And so he somehow gets kind of forgotten about in that regard. But make no mistake, you can't talk about the greats of the 60s. If you're going to talk about Motown, you're going to talk James Brown, you're going to talk about Jimi Hendrix, you're going to talk about the British invasion, the Beatles, you know, Stones if you want to. You got to have Sly and the Family Stone at the top of it. You got to put them in that upper echelon because changed the course of popular music, changed the course of the sound, changed the course of the stylings. Was his own rhythm, own styling. And so anyway, listen to these songs, obviously Family Affair, you hear those words, you just kind of like, wow, that just sticks. And it is sometimes you just, and like I emphasize this enough because it just isn't enough given. There was autobiography that came out on him, but it just ain't enough that you don't get enough mention of the greatness of what Sly Stone's mind did and the creativity and the depth and the magnitude and just just reflecting on Sly Stone's greatest hits. You know, you caught me smiling and running away with the grooves and the strong rhythmic tracks of the guitar and the bass and the drums and that wounded soul that hit you with soul. That's so much of what you think about when you think about Sly Stone. Just going by track, the greatness of the band, you know, the arrangements, the grooves. It's just like you want to give Sly and the Family Stone another victory lap and say, thank you for letting me do this. Thanks for letting me be myself again is one of the funkiest songs ever. It's hard to believe that song is almost pushing 60 years old because it's 55 years old. But that song, obviously Rhythm Nation, Janet Jackson used that groove. Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis did that groove. You could play that right now, it still hit. That's what great music does. That's what musicality, dexterity, production. So I've probably talked about them, but I'm gonna talk about them again. Impact on hip hop too. Cadence, rhythm, tone, attitude, all there, all there. pop music too. You can see it. Just a distinctive talent. One of a kind. One of a kind. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep in mind, clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Hit that membership because the questions you do, I'll bring them back to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay real, stay focused. All right, I'm out one time. Peace.